Hello everybody, it's Plowboy's Ghost channel. I'm watching a video just a little bit ago that on MontanaMountainMen's channel. I believe it's Carbine Cowboy. Mentioned him a few times, you know I like that channel. He's talking about his experiences open carrying, and it kind of prompted me more to, I guess, do a video on mine instead of typing out just a comment on his. And I've been open carrying for years. Here in Alabama, we have always been an open carry state, but before 2013, the law, depending on who you ask, was a little bit ambiguous. And there were people who were charged with various things. Whether those charges always stuck or not, I don't know. But the law was clarified in 2013 that said that in Alabama that they couldn't charge you with a disturbing the peace or whatever it was, you know, for open carry, and therefore clarifying that open carry was, of course, legal, which I knew that anyway. But after that, I started carrying openly a lot. Before that, I had carried concealed probably all the way back to the time that I was 18, 19-year-old back in the early 90s, very early 90s, with my first Ruger P85 9mm, back when that was up to date, when that was current state of the art. But fast forward, you know, to 2013, I started carrying my 1911 openly, and there in the beginning it was kind of a nervous thing because it wasn't something you was used to seeing, and it wasn't something you was used to doing. And I caught people looking. I still catch people looking. It don't bother me. But there were things that I learned and things that I experienced along the way. You know, when you open carry, you have to have a heightened sense of awareness. People around you, not only that, you know, how they're looking at you or what they might be thinking, but you want to make sure that you don't let anybody slip up behind you and lay hands on your gun. And I've got pretty good to, you know, I watch everybody anyway. My wife thinks that I do a little bit too much, but I pay attention. It's like I'm always watching what everybody else is doing, especially if they're paying attention to me. But if I'm in the checkout line at Walmart, yes, I open carry at Walmart. I do it every time I go in there. Now keep in mind, I open carry daily, every single day, and have done it for years and years and years. But when I'm in the checkout line, I don't let anybody slip up behind me blindly. You know, I'll always, if you're in the line like this right here and you're going toward the cashier up here, you know, I like to turn this side. Got my buggy here. I like to turn this side this way, and you know, look at the candy or the magazines or whatever. You know, we'll keep your eye on, you know, out the corner of your eye on your periphery. I want to keep an eye on people, and I don't think that it's too much trouble. I don't think that it's a big inconvenience that would make me feel like that open carrying is not worth it. I have had a few negative comments over the years, but I can say almost every single one of them was someone who wasn't originally from here. Now, I know with MontanaMountainMen, I believe he said that his negative comment was somebody from Minnesota, I believe. Well, my negative comments have been from mainly places like Illinois. At least I can think of two that I asked where they were from, and that's what they said. And in both instances, I suggested that if they felt uncomfortable around people carrying firearms, and they thought that that was inherently dangerous, that they were welcome to go to Chicago and see if they felt a whole lot safer where they weren't supposed to carry. I can think of a few times that I had somebody question my 1911 because they'd see my hammer back, of course, carrying a condition 1, and say, "Hey man, your hammer's back." One of them made a scene in Walmart. "Hey, your hammer's back." "Yeah, I know my hammer's back." I walked back to him as polite as supposed to be. I explained how that if the hammer's not back, that all of John Browning's designs for safeties didn't work in that pistol if the hammer wasn't back. He wasn't too convinced, but I told him he could go ahead and goggle. That's Google. He could goggle 1911 condition 1. I said the gun was designed in the early 1900s. I said it was adopted by the military in 1911. I said surely you can find something to read on And that particular day, I had 3 people say the same thing. Hey, man, your hammer's back. You gonna shoot yourself in the foot? No, that's not how this works. But I guess the common theme in all of these is you're dealing with uninformed people. I like to call them stupid people. Had a woman in the Dollar General store ask me one time. She saw my Ruger Blackhawk 45 Colt on my side, 4 5/8 barrel. She said, "Oh my gosh, is that a real gun?" I'm trying to do a Yankee accent. I said, "Yes, ma'am, it is." "Why would you have that in here?" I said, "Because I might need it in here." "Why would you feel the need to carry a gun?" I said, "Well, frankly," I said, "because I can't carry a cop in my pocket and I can't afford private security." I said, "If you've been watching the news lately, you know this world's a dangerous place." Well, she said, "I guess that's an answer." I said, "Yeah, it is." And the manager of the store come outside just a little bit afterwards. I loaded my car. He said, "I heard what you said to her, and I just want to tell you I appreciate it." I've had people, management in Walmart, walk up, shake my hand, said, "Man, I like that. I'm glad you do it. Want to talk to me about their guns? Hey, I got this, I got that." I've been thinking about open carrying too. I see people open carrying here and there, and I think I do it probably more than anybody. Of course, now I don't run across everybody every day, but I do it a lot. And it's not that I'm really wanting to show off. Of course, I don't have to justify or defend my reasons because we have a right to do it. Because I want to is a good enough reason, and I don't even have to give anybody that. But I believe that I would rather have a full-size gun, even if it's a 7.5-inch 45 Colt single-action revolver. I'd rather have a full-size gun, something that I feel comfortable with, something that I am effective with. And being effective and comfortable translates into not only greater effectiveness and user friendliness and ability to use it safely, but it's more effective all the way around. I think that's valuable in anything you're carrying. As far as a weapon goes, I think that it's a valuable thing to feel comfortable with it, to be used to it, to be good with it. Of course, we can debate whether or not I'm good with any of my guns, but I feel most comfortable with my full-size guns. And I don't want to dig something out of my drawers. I don't want to have to reach down in here. There's times I go into places with no gun signs. As bad as I hate to do it, my wife wants to go to the Waffle House sometimes. And I will go ahead and go into Waffle House. But guess what, y'all? I got a .357 Magnum in my pocket. And I'm tactically setting myself to where somebody comes in that door, that I'm going to see them, and I'm watching everybody walks in that door. Where I am within a range where I feel comfortable and effective if someone comes in doing what Waffle House bad guys do, because we all know how safe a Waffle House is. If you check the news out and go back through some news stories, you'll find out that hard to believe that armed thugs and criminals kind of like places that say no guns, because they ain't got to worry about running into me and a card-bean cowboy and a bunch of y'all out there. Well, I like making the world a difficult place for them as much as I can. And listen, this gun on your side, that's what I've explained to somebody. This gun on my side is it's not an uncapped bucket of live and pissed off rattlesnakes. This is not a dirty bomb. This is not radioactive material. This is not something that's going to jump out and get you while I'm walking around pushing a buggy, minding my own business with my grandkids, buying groceries. This is to defend their life if that store owner can't or doesn't want to get me security or to guarantee my life or their life. I'm not going to find myself trying to save my children or my grandchildren's lives by hoping and praying with nothing more at my disposal than trying to rely on the good nature of people who don't have any good nature. This is no guarantee. This pistol is no guarantee that I'm going to stop a single threat. This pistol is a guarantee that I've got a chance, and therefore my grandkids have got a chance. Them little babies I love. My kids have got a chance, and I've taught my boys that, and they feel the same way. And I'm going to tell y'all something. They ain't nobody no badge, no government office, no entity that claims for themselves the authority over you or another man that has a right to tell you that you don't have the right to defend yourself. You don't have a right to take care of the people you love. You don't have a right to have the opportunity to fight back and defend that which cannot be gotten back once you've lost it. It's none of their damn business. If they're leading this life of, I don't know, some utopian idea of a world that if it would just be perfect, if we could just, I don't know, if we could just do away with the guns, over 100 million guns, well, excuse me, over 300 million guns, never, never. 300 million. If we had a full confiscation effort, if we didn't have blood flowing in the streets because of government officials trying to undermine the Second Amendment and violating their oaths to the Constitution, which we would. If we didn't have half the military at least, and maybe half of the police walk away from their jobs because either they don't want to break their oath or because they don't want to get shot dead for doing something that they deep down in their soul know that they're going to get shot dead for, it still would not work. You never get 300 plus million guns off the street in this country. So then what? Let's say that the good people, let's say that peaceful people, unreasonably peaceful people, hand in their guns. What are they going to do with the other however many million that they couldn't get, guns they couldn't confiscate? It's going to be a shooting gallery. It's going to be a free-for-all. You think you leftist idiots out there, you think this world's bad now? We let you get your way, this country is going to be worse than any socialist, Marxist, communist country has ever been, because we are the most armed. There's more guns here than there ever has been in any of those countries. It will be blood flowing like rivers, and it will be innocent blood, and it will be on your hands, but y'all won't suffer for it. So guess what? Come hell or high water, we ain't going to be disarmed. Now all y'all that I see in a store that has a problem with this, get over it. Get over to go to Chicago. Get over to move the hell somewhere else. Go somewhere that you feel safer. Stick your head in the sand or up to your posterior orifice and feel better. But you have no right to tell MontanaMountainMen or Duke Frazier, any of us, you have no right to tell any of us that we don't have a right to do what comes naturally to human beings with balls, with guts, with common sense, and that's defend ourselves, defend our lives. That's the most basic human freedom there is. That's the most basic human liberty there is. And that's us carrying this firearm. When you see me open carrying in Walmart or open carrying anywhere else, if this son of a gun's quiet, it's on my side and I'm smiling, you ain't got nothing to worry about. If you've been on evil, you got a little bit to worry about. You may have a lot to worry about, and it may not be a long worry. That's up to you. I don't know, y'all. I try to get along with everybody. But y'all know that there's a divide in this country. It ain't going to be healed at the ballot box. It ain't going to be healed at the next election. Things aren't going to go back to the way they were. You know, I haven't lived a long time. I'm 45 years old. But I've lived long enough to see a lot better times as far as harmony, as far as peaceful, getting along with other people. I have no desire to be at war with everybody else, but I will not try to play nice, have a conversation with Marxists when y'all's ideology is responsible for over 100 million deaths of innocent people in the 20th century alone. We ain't going to do it your way. And as long as me and these folks you see on YouTube, these gun channels, these patriot channels, as long as we refuse to cave into y'all, the United States is going to be a beacon in some way or another. We've got our problems. And I ain't fond of a bunch of Yankees. But I'm going to tell you right now, I would rather stand side by side with a Yankee against any outside aggressor or any internal aggressor. And then me and him iron out our differences afterwards. But guess what? You're on a short rope, buddy. We're not going to put up with it. You know, my family has fought for liberty, independence, and later on constitutional government on this continent every generation back at least into the 1600s. Whether they was carving out a little bit of the wilderness for themselves, westward expansion, Revolutionary War, you name it. Confederate side, defending our homes, standing up for the American principle, the foundational American principle of freedom of association, known as secession. That is the Declaration of Independence, a secession document. Or whether it was in World War I, World War II, every war. I'm not going to give it up. I'm not going to turn tail and let a bunch of neo-Marxists attack my history, my heritage, my rights, and they're not going to endanger my children and grandchildren. And that's if the anti-gun left gets their way. They are endangering your children and grandchildren and generations unborn. You can't let it happen. So I veered off a little bit from open carry, but open carry is it's along the same lines, because those people who have a negative reaction to open carry, those are the ones who are of a feeble mind, who have believed the left's gun terror, gun fear agenda. Everything you see, oh, gun, gun, gun. Like I said, an uncapped bucket of pissed off rattlesnakes. This pistol is not. I believe firmly there's a whole lot of people that don't like to see armed folks, because they are the kind of people who aren't used to behaving themselves, and they don't like a visual reminder that they've got to behave themselves around you, that you're not easy pickings. Well, I kind of took off on a little side rant, and other than drawing a pistol a couple of times, this really wasn't much of a gun showing video like I normally do, but from time to time you will get political stuff from me. And I'm a lot madder about some of this than what I'm going to get into in this one video. But anyway, y'all, hey, I've got next week I'm supposed to get a lot better internet service than what we've got, a lot faster speeds. Y'all, I'm on some really slow stuff, so when I put a video on to upload, it can take 12 hours, 10, 12 hours. This will probably take longer than that. And next week it's going to get a whole lot faster, so I'm going to start doing a whole lot more videos. And once again, I appreciate all y'all subscribing, commenting. Hey, if you got something positive to say, I'd love to hear. If you got something negative to say, I'll listen to that too. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.